Hello, another layout update. As you can see, quite a few changes since last time. Mainly, lots of ballasting has been done. In this corner, both tracks are done all the way around. Past the points, up into the far corner. And all the way around, stopping just before the bridge area. And on this side it stops at the end of the lift up portion here. The inner track is now operational. As from the other video that I put up earlier, I can now run trains around the inner loop. It's not completely ballasted or glued down yet, but it does actually work. The other big change is this corner over here. I now have the tunnel portals in place. These are Metcalf kits. Please excuse the noises coming from the train passing through there. These are just card kits. They come as individual tunnel portals, and I've modified them to put them together as a double portal. This area here will be a sort of a tunnel, and you can see the other portal, which hasn't been assembled yet. That's just the backing piece. That's roughly where it will go, and then it will come out here and be an open air again. I have a reclining wall here, so you can just about see, incline wall. That will go up the edge of the tunnel. I've done the inside of the tunnel as well, only some light ballasting and some dark grey mixture colours along the inside of the wall. The point of that, even though you won't really see it, is so when the cam truck is running round, it doesn't completely ruin the idea of the layout when it goes through a tunnel. If I move this down a little, you can see inside. It does look somewhat tunnel-like. And of course the train comes through. The third track here on the innermost one hasn't had a lot of progress done yet, although the foam has now been laid for the branch track. That's the piece on the left there. That will eventually go across here, roughly where that piece is, although that bit's not stuck down yet, and come across here. This will be part of the extension if and when that happens. Here's a closer look at the tunnel. And the two portals. This is a Metcalf card kit. The second portal here contains the biggest change to the track work. Originally this was going to be two separate tunnel portals on the back here. One was going to go with two lines coming through to do the two bay platforms, which you can just see the rolling stock in at the moment. And there's going to be an additional portal in that area there, in the gap. But as you can probably tell, that's too small a gap for a tunnel portal to fit into. So what I did, I modified the track on this line here, and it comes around as one track here, instead of having the additional track which would have been somewhere around the back there. It stays as one track. Then it splits just before the tunnel, then immediately splits again to give 3 lines. The points are at a different angle to what would probably be expected for this, but that's to ensure that the far line, which is the freight track along here, lines up so that the track is in the centre of the tunnel portal. The reason for this is for the double stack roll cars, which is just passing through the tunnel on the right now. As you can see, it's currently going through with the containers at single stack height. However, on this line over here, they'll be able to go at dual stack height because they go through the centre. This track runs along here, behind the station all the way along. And then runs through another portal here. This is a single portal. That's going underneath the bridge line and goes around to here. I'm not sure if you can see on the video here, but there's some pencil lines there showing roughly where the track will go. And there's a point just there where the containers are going over at the moment. And this rejoins the outer loop. The bridge going across here has been moved ever so slightly. This time it has actually been fixed down. It's just been glued onto a small piece of the track bed foam, and the bridge has got screws to hold it to each section. The foam here on this corner was slightly in the wrong place, so I took that out and put it back in again. It was only about 2 or 3 inches too far out. The modified version now allows a much wider radius curve, as the previous one was a little bit too sharp for some of the other rolling stock that will go across here. The foam has been done there, but the rest of it, as you can see, is just resting on top of the riser. The retaining walls over here aren't held down; they're just resting against the foam riser there. Over here, you can see that I've now put a second level over the top of the track. This will also be a hill and raised up area. The board here is just resting on top of the wooden stand-up legs. It's not fixed down at all yet. The track underneath and the junction under there needs to be finalised yet. You can probably just about see from this corner here that I've changed the alignment of the track. The train now is going over the older route, and you can see the inner track turns in earlier and it goes underneath. This is actually a much more gentle curve than the previous one. The other tunnel portal for this hill will be somewhere in this area here. Not exactly where the wood ends, probably a little bit further out, around there somewhere. It can't go too far further right because of the point. I've also added a small piece of orange tubing here and some cable trunking along with the signal. The signal's not actually working yet. It needs to be wired up, but it's in the correct place and can be moved for the wiring to be done. Over here I've tried to make a base layer using some clay soil from the garden in an attempt to try and make a sort of a field or sort of an earth type of covering. Some static grass will go over this later. The masking tape there is just to protect the backboard from the glue and the spray. As well as the detailing work on the layout, I've also improved the benchwork slightly. There was a slight dip in the middle of the board here, which I've fixed by putting an additional set of legs in the board just to make it a bit more even, and it's now straight across the board. The next work to be done will be to complete this section of track over here. That will run around there onto that point. That will be the next job. After that, the ballasting over here will need to be completed. These two tracks with the coaching stock on at the moment doesn't have any ballast on there. Not all of that is glued down, so that will need to be done, as well as the back track there, which is glued down but hasn't been ballasted yet. Once that's done, the bridge line from here around to the green bridge there will be done. For that to be done, I need to cut some more wood for this corner. These pieces are obviously far too small. I've also been working on this station building. This is another Metcalf card kit. Obviously this will normally go on top of a platform. I haven't built the platforms yet. I have also fitted lighting inside. This building will probably go either in this space here, if it'll fit, or just on this side, somewhere along here before the bridge. I do have an additional building to build that goes on the other side, and that will probably go in that space there if the main building doesn't. That's about it for this update. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like or subscribe or leave a comment.